Board members, you ready? Everybody good? Everybody good? Good evening. It's time to call the February 27th, 2024 Warrick County Board of Education meeting to order. First order of business is our Pledge of Allegiance, and we have all these young ladies here this evening. I'm going to ask you to lead us in the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, next on our agenda is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, on the agenda we have under routine business, resignations, leave of absence, we have Shayla Griffey for maternity leave. Number 3, Shawnee Hill as head softball coach, and Sandra Harris as assistant softball coach for the middle school. And I believe that is it. Did I miss anything? No? We good? Anything we need to know about, any questions about those additions? No? Okay, so we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. And this evening, we're really pleased to have the Warrick County Middle School girls basketball A and B teams with us, and they were the LKC championship. Mr. McCown.
So I'll ask Coach Dawson and the other coaches to come up and say a few words about their season and the accomplishments, and introduce your members and talk a little bit about your season. It's been a good one.
All right. This year was the most girls that we've had on our team. We finished the season with 16 girls, so that's up, but we had 11 last year, and the year before that we finished with 8. So every year we're growing, so we're super happy about that. They work really hard. I can't say enough about them. This group of athletes, they work hard all year round. Conditioning, working on their skills, going to camps, shootouts, whatever we ask them to do. So we can't take the credit for it, like it's on them. They're super hard workers, and their parents are very dedicated to get them there. So that's why we are where we are today, is because of everybody stepping up and helping and just working really hard. So anyways, our A team this year was 17-2, and our B team was 18-1, for an overall record for these girls 35-3. Wow. So that's very impressive for a middle school team. Just a couple of stats about our scoring. Our A team scored 945 points this year, and we were able to keep our opponents to 419 points. So that says a lot about like them shooting and our defense. Just because they're all out hustlers. I don't know if you guys have ever been, if you guys went to any of the middle school games or watched them online, but they are 100, 120%, the whole time. So we are always outrunning the other teams, because they are very well conditioned, right, ladies? And our B team, they scored 703 points this year, and their opponents only scored 434. So again, it says a lot about them offensively and defensively. And if you combine both of those, for middle school, 1,648 points versus our opponents of 853.
Wow.
So that's very impressive. And that's not counting all the rebounds and steals and all of that, but I don't have those numbers. But super proud of these ladies. They do a great job. And one thing I want to add is, because we're growing, we are super, super thankful that you guys approved to hire the second assistant. Running that many girls and all the drills and stuff that we do, it was very easy to do with 3 coaches. So we are still very thankful for that.
Well, April pretty much covered it. She talked a lot about this season. I'll just add, even long before this season, I think every girl up there has been playing basketball since 2nd and 3rd grade. So it's very rewarding to see all that hard work paying off. Like even during COVID, they were out in the park practicing in 100-degree heat. So we've been nonstop since 2nd or 3rd grade. Some fulfilling moments this year. One of mine was beating, like a AAA school. We went to a AAA school, and both teams beat a AAA school. So it's been very rewarding, but it didn't start this year. They've been at it for 5 or 6 years. So it's a great group of girls, great group of supportive parents that allowed all this to come together.
So I joined this crew a little bit later than Coach Dotson and Coach Dawson, and so I was really able to see this year just what hard work looks like for these girls. And especially towards the beginning of the season, I thought, wow, they're going to break. They're going to, and they never did. They just kept working hard. Attitudes were always positive, very little complaining out of this group because they know what it takes, and that was really rewarding to see.
So I'll introduce the team. Our
Raise your
8th
hand
graders.
when she calls your name.
Okay. Our 8th graders, and I'll try to watch so I don't forget anybody. We have Isabella Spees. We have Jasmine Williams. We have Talia McCoy, Bragan Dawson, and Kinsley Nicolay. So those will be our 8th graders that'll move up to the high school next year. Our 7th graders, 8th graders staying out of the way. We have Kate Dotson, Leah Casanelli, Maya Hatcher, Simone Hall, and Sarah Logan. And then our 6th graders in the back, we have Sophie Romage, Melanie Exline. We have Amaya Ware way in the back, Caroline McAllister, Bristol Dye, and Addie Williams. So good job, girls.
I recognize a lot of names from volleyball too, right? A lot of the same
all
girls.
of these girls play volleyball, I think, except for Talia, right? Everybody else plays volleyball.
Fantastic.
And Melanie. So all the girls play volleyball except for 2.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe we can recruit them to volleyball too.
Okay, we would like to get a picture with you all if you want to come up and coach us. John, you want?
Thank you guys.
Here you go.
It's all good.
Parents, we appreciate everything you do during the season and for bringing them out tonight, okay? It couldn't happen without you.
Ask them about the 3 feet. Hey, Coach.
Hey, Coach.
Coach, would you tell John what the 3 feet on the back of the jersey
The 3 feet on the back of the 8th grade shirts is because they won their LPC their 6th grade year, 7th grade year, and this year. So next year, the 8th graders will have it on the back of their shirts too.
Thank you, April.
That's awesome.
Okay, we're down to information, monthly attendance report. Mr. McCown.
So Mr. Smith is with us this evening, and he's going to give us our latest monthly attendance report.
Thank you, Mr. McCown. Thank you, Mr. Metz. Okay, firstly, during the month of February, we sent out 68 five-day letters to households. Another area that I forgot to put on the slides, I apologize, is during the month of February, we had 5 truancy conferences on February 2nd at the middle school. On February 7th, we had 5 at the high school. These meetings related to 3 high school students and 2 middle school students. They had family members at both places while we did that. On February 13th, a truancy conference took place at Work County High School. Myself, Ty Starkey, and the probation officer and the building principal at each of these were present at all these meetings. The next part that's on the slide is the Work County Schools average attendance as of February 21st is 90% at the primary center, 87.5 at the middle school, high school's at 90.5, and district-wide is at 89.3. Year-to-date school attendance rates as of February 21st, the primary center was at 92, middle school at 91.6, the high school was at 91.9, and district-wide is at 91.8. Year-to-date chronically absent student rate as of February 21st, primary center at 26.2, middle school at 25%, high school at 27.3, and district-wide we were at 26.2. District enrollment by school and district, primary center was at 341, middle school at 263, high school was at 279, and district-wide we're at 883, and unfortunately we continue to decrease. Hopefully it'll go the other direction soon. Enrollment change in comparison to January, there's a decrease of 8 students, 7 less students at the primary center, 1 less student at the high school, and the enrollment stayed the same at the middle school. There's the enrollment by grade. The highest enrollment currently is 75 in 10th grade, and the lowest one currently is first grade. We're at 49 students, just to see if you see any trends there or not. Lastly, we hadn't been doing this, but I wanted to make sure and get this on here. The school-based probationary officer update for the year. Preventative contact was made with 102 students at risk of truancy in the form of face-to-face contact or at-risk letters. As of today, during the school year, there's been 16 truancy conferences, 3 placed on truancy diversion, 1 juvenile moved out of county, 15 students currently participate in truancy diversion program, and there's been 135 contacts made by Mrs. Starkey, the school-based probation officer, as of February 20th of this year. Okay. Anyone have any questions or anything they want me to go back over or review? Anyone?
Jeff, the truancy diversion, is the judge still ordering that, how is that happening?
Okay, well, once we do the 5-day letter process and we do that, once a student gets 7 or 8 unexcused absences, Mrs. Starkey, after we've had ample time for them to turn in excuses, she sends out a truancy notification, and we have a meeting in the near future following that. And then the parent has the choice. I hope this is what you're asking, Mr. Metz. The parent has a choice at that point if they deem that they need to put them on truancy diversion, which we call informal probation with Mrs. Starkey. The parent has a choice of either they can do that, and the court system asks that we prefer we do that, exhaust all those means. Okay. And then if they don't adhere to that or don't agree to do the probation, then the next step is punitive and going to court, Mr. Metz. Is how that works, yeah. So what we're doing is trying to do a last-ditch effort, so we're not doing a punitive
Absolutely.
Step. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure because it used to be it went to circuit court.
Right.
I mean, it went to judge or went to magistrate court, but now we have that extra step in there that might keep them out of that.
Right, and we're glad to have Mrs. Starkey because she has the ability to put them on probation and various things, and then we can go to the court and show them that we've exhausted all means before we bring it before the judge, and they prefer that way is what they'd like for us to do. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Any other questions for?
Yeah,
Okay.
remind me, I forgot, where on the chronic absenteeism, where does the state require us to be at? What's the percentage?
They would like for us to, I'm sorry, they would like for us to be at 10, or I believe it's either 10 or 50, is it 10%, Mr. McCown, I believe it is?
Yeah, it's-
Which is like 18 days, and it's, yeah, look at Brent shaking his head. It's awfully hard to do that, I understand, yes. So you can understand the frustration, but
Is there anything that parents can do to help the schools on that, or is?
well, what we've been trying to implement and encourage during the year, and it doesn't always work out this way, Brent, but we've been trying to make it to where if kids, let's say, they have a medical appointment, okay, if they can somehow schedule it late in the day or early in the morning to where they can still attend a half day. And we've been sending notifications of when we have PL days and other days where staff reports and children don't report. That way some parents can schedule doctor's appointment on those days so they're not missing school. There's been accommodations made if we know well in advance that the kid's going to be off for some reason, a medical appointment, we can have them do virtual for a few days and it be considered elsewhere because they're still doing their work, so they're not absent. So there's a lot of things like that, Brent, that we've been trying to do to alleviate some of these problems.
Virtual, how's that done? Is that done to a teacher or to the class, or how?
Well, the administration coordinates that with whoever the teachers are for that student, and they monitor their work through Schoology and make sure they're completing their assignments and such. So, like back in the day, I know it's not back in the day that far. When we were in COVID, we used to refer to those as either you were engaged or non-engaged, is what we used to use that verbiage. Now we can, in some instances, we can record that as elsewhere if they're continuing to do their work or keeping up. So. I don't know if I answered your question,
Yeah,
Brett, but we're trying to take steps.
I forgot, the 18 or the 10, the 18 was stuck in my mind, but not.
Which is 10% of a year.
Right,
Yeah.
Well, and I think the big challenge is just educating parents so that they realize, even though that's an excused absence, that the school is still getting docked for the absent if the student isn't here. Because traditionally, that wasn't the case, and it never led to truancy with doctors' excuses and the excused absences, but now we're being held to a different standard than it was in years gone by, and just educating parents about that issue, and then if they can, get work ahead of time and be virtual for that absence, or schedule planned appointments on the days that we have teacher learning days and students are not in session. I think but educating parents about that is the biggest challenge, and I know that communities in school and Mr. Smith has been trying to get that out there so that parents understand that.
And Brent, to follow up on your question, Mr. McCown's aware of this too, and some of the people sitting here may be aware. There was even a bill brought, and it's not passed yet. They're wanting to break it down as far as now we deal with, Mrs. Starkey deals with unexcused absence primarily with me. But I'm trying to also, CIS, or Community and Schools, is helping with just chronic absenteeism, so they all go hand in hand. Well, at the state level, they're wanting to pass a bill where there's no such thing as unexcused and excused absence. You're just gone. So we'll have to figure out if that passes, Mr. McCown, how we deal with that, correct?
We'll see if it makes it over on crossover day tomorrow.
But it moved down, so it'll make it crossover day.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, as you said. Okay. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks.
Okay, we have no delegations this evening, so we're down to approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 13th, 2024 regular meeting?
So moved.
Any comments, questions, corrections of the minutes? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the February 13th, 2024 regular meeting minutes. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Down to finance. Need a motion to approve the payment of invoices in the amount of $105,018.75.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So there are 3 runs of expenditures for your consideration this evening. The first on 2/15/2024 in the amount of $16,494.65. Noteworthy in this is United Dairy, $8,743.23 in milk. The next run of expenditures is on 2/21/2024 in the amount of $42,604.96. Noteworthy is Work County Health Services for counseling services in the amount of $13,733.36. And the final run on 2/24/2024 totaling $45,919.14. Noteworthy in this, we have Murray Sheet Metal for $4,154.68 for HVAC repairs. West Virginia Board of Risk, $30,453, our quarterly liability and property insurance. All these total $105,018.75.
Very good. Any questions of the invoices for Mr. McCown? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve payment of invoices, the amount of $105,018.75. All in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Mr. Sherlock, you will need to recuse yourself.
Sounds good.
I don't want to be a stickler, but you have to say
Yes,
it.
yeah. Right, I refuse.
Okay, need a motion to approve travel for Mr. Sherlock in the amount of $104.52. So moved. Any questions, comments? Here none, we have a motion to approve travel for Mr. Sherlock in the amount of $104.52. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it.
He heard us.
Okay, we're down to budget transfers. Any motion to approve budget transfers in the amount of $12,077.97. Do I have a motion? So moved. Mr. McCown.
So we have 4 budget transfers for your consideration this evening. The first in the amount of $2,000. This is to transfer Perkins vocational funding from carpentry to welding for supplies. The next in the amount of $7,616.04. This is to transfer alt ed salary and services. The next in the amount of $564. This is transfer early lit from salary to software. And then finally in the amount of $1,897.93. This is to transfer community and schools from supplies to salary. All these transfers total $12,077.97.
Any questions from Mr. McCown on budget transfers? Here none, we have a motion to approve budget transfers in the amount of $12,077.97. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Under routine business, personnel matters, under resignations.
We have 2
Skip supplements.
What's that?
We have 2 supplements.
Did I? Oh, you marked it off. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. Okay, need a motion to approve. So I went from invoices to transfers and supplements. Okay. Need a motion to approve budget supplements in the amount of $16,511. So moved. I'm glad I have you guys here to keep me straight. Mr. McCown.
So we have 2 supplements for your approval this evening. The first in the amount of $300. This is a grant for our County Teacher of the Year, Jamie Vinoy. The second in the amount of $16,211. This is a WVDE grant for alternative education. Those total $16,511.
Any questions from Mr. McCown on supplements? Here none, we have a motion to approve the budget supplements in the amount of $16,511. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Now we're moving to personnel. Okay, need a motion to approve the resignation of Melissa Emerson as School Improvement Specialist, Ward County Primary Center extracurricular contract, and that will be effective for the 24-25 school year.
So moved.
Mr. McCown.
So we are going through the extracurricular supplement list, and we're going to clean some of those things up during RIF and transfer season. Combine some things and redo some things, and one of those was this. So I asked Ms. Emerson if she would tender a letter of resignation. That's going to vacate this. At the next board meeting, I'm going to ask for you to abolish that, just to make it easier so I don't have to RIF that. She is in agreement that she doesn't really need an extra duty for that. That's part of her job as the building principal. And so as we're going through some of these extracurricular contracts, we're trying to weed those out a little bit, and this was one of them. So her letter resigning from that is in your packet.
Any questions? Here are none. We have a motion to approve the resignation of Melissa Emerson as school improvement specialist at Ward County Primary Center, and that's an extracurricular contract, and that becomes effective for 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to number 2. Need a motion to approve the maternity leave for Shayla Griffey from April 22nd, 2024 until May 23rd, 2024.
So moved.
Anything we need to know, Mr.
Now, her
McCown?
letter requesting this was in your packet.
Any questions?
It doesn't seem long enough.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when I read it.
But, I said it doesn't seem long enough,
I
but,
think that's the day before she's due, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the maternity leave for Shayla Griffey, from April 22nd, 2024 until May 23rd, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, down to employment. Need a motion to approve the employment of Autumn Bell as assistant varsity softball coach, Ward County High School, effective upon completion of her certification. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
Her application was in your packet, and I think her certification just percolated through today, so I think she's fully certified. So happy to bring her to you for your consideration tonight.
When does that season actually
I believe practice starts this week.
This week? Oh, my.
yesterday, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow. School years are moving along, guys. Okay, any questions from Mr. McCown? Here are none. We have a motion to approve Autumn Bell as assistant varsity softball coach, Ward County High School, effective upon the completion of her certification. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, need a motion to approve the employment of Rebecca Smith as interventionist extracurricular effective February 28, 2024.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So as you recall, this is the position that I brought to you and asked you to authorize last time. So we do have a bidder on that. Becky Smith, a retired teacher that has worked for us for many years, is willing to come back and help out in that capacity, and I'm happy to bring her name to you tonight.
Any questions?
Will that be like, how will that work with her? She's retired, correct?
Yeah, so she will be able to come in during the day, work with the schools on student schedules, and then map her time out to where she could be at both of the schools to maximize her time with the students that we're hiring her to help.
Any other questions? Here are none. We have a motion to approve Rebecca Smith as interventionist extracurricular effective February 28, 2024. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to number 3. Need a motion to approve Shawnee Hill as head softball coach, Ward County Middle School, effective immediately.
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So her application is in your packet. This one has been out there for a while. Happy to get that filled, and happy to get the one below it filled too. So her application was in your packet. She's a well-known quantity here, and happy that she's willing to pick this up and be head coach at the middle school.
Any questions? Here are none. We have a motion to approve Shawnee Hill as head softball coach, Ward County Middle School, effective immediately. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, number 4, need a motion to approve Sandra Harris as assistant softball coach, Worth County Middle School, effective immediately. Mr. McCown?
So happy that she was willing to pick this up. She has been a softball official for many, many years, and glad that she's willing to give up her time and fill that need as middle school assistant softball coach.
Any questions? Here none, we have a motion to approve Sandra Harris as assistant softball coach, Worth County Middle School, effective immediately. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, down to new business, need a motion to abolish the position of special education teacher at Worth County Middle School, and that's the one that was paid for out of ESSER funding, and this will become effective for the 24-25 school year. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So we are coming up on RIF and transfer season, as you well know. This is a position that we authorized and we paid for with ESSER money. That funding is concluding at the end of this year, and we did not fill this with a full-time employee. It has been posted the whole time and filled with a long-term sub. So since it does not have a full-time employee in it, we can just bring it to the board for the board to abolish that, and that's what I'm asking at the conclusion of this school year, that you abolish that position. And again, that is one that we've had a long-term retired person subbing in.
Any questions? Hearing none, we have a motion to abolish the position of special education teacher, Worth County Middle School, ESSER funded, effective for the 24-25 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to policy repeal and replace. Need a motion to repeal policy 1-13, instructional resource adoption policy, and to replace it. Let's just repeal it at the moment because it'll go out for comment. And then
Correct.
replace it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is for the repeal of 1-13 instructional resource policy, and it'll be, the new one will be placed out on 20-day comment period. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCown?
So the state has updated its requirements and its language, and instead of striking basically the whole document and adding it back, it was easy for us to just, less work to repeal the whole thing and replace the whole thing. The updated version to go out for public comment has got the updated language from the West Virginia Department of Education on the requirements for adoption of instructional resources. So, and I've just, so sometimes it's easier for you to read a paper thing than that. I printed out a hard copy of this for you to review.
And this will be 20 days, right?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
Do we know if they're doing anything in the legislature right now that would change this, or if they did, it would come out like next year maybe with a new policy from the state, or?
I don't know that, I haven't been following anything with instructional resources.
Okay. Didn't know if
They
we
did a
put this
bunch
out,
last
if we were
time.
just going to have to change it again. You know?
If they do pass something, we'll have to update it again and bring it back to you
Okay.
again.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion to repeal policy I-13 instructional resource adoption policy and place the new policy out on a 20-day comment period. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to volunteer chaperones. Need a motion to approve volunteer chaperones for 23-24 school year, and we have one name, and that is Derek Egbert, Worth County Middle School. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And his stuff was in the thing, right? Yeah. Any questions from Mr. McCown? Hear none. We have a motion to approve Derek Egbert as a volunteer chaperone at Worth County Middle School for 23-24 school year. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say nay. Ayes have it. Okay, we're down to board concerns, and we'll start with Mr. Sherlock.
So, one of the concerns I have is about the safety of our students. And I know that we have the man traps in the high school and in the primary school and the middle school when you come in. But we don't have one in the library, which our students are in there all day. And I don't believe we have one in the school board office where our employees and students go back and forth all day. Is this something that we could look into to see if it's feasible to get that to better protect our students and employees?
So, yeah, you had brought this up a previous time. We are looking into that, but with the money that that's going to cost, we're going to have to get, we've got one quote, but we need to get 2 additional quotes and follow the purchasing procedures and putting that in place. But
It's still being...
we are pursuing that, yes.
Okay.
John, I'm sorry, Mr. McCown. Okay, this is February, March. The second meeting in March, could we get Curtis, Mr. Moore, on the agenda to talk to us about what they're looking at, where he's at, that type of stuff? And because he's our safety guy.
Correct.
So between him and Mr. Smith, maybe they can come.
That's the
We
one
don't
you're not
expect
here
them to have
for?
anything done by that time, but, I'm sorry?
Is that the one you're not here for?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been here if we left it regular.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that's March, we moved that to Thursday, March the 21st.
First?
Yeah. Yep, I can do that.
And if for some reason it can't happen, let us know.
Okay.
If not, March 21st, under information, won't be an action item or anything, but information.
Sorry, we have a safety meeting on the 3rd, I believe, of March, prior to that. So we'll
Okay,
probably
so
address it
that'll
there, too.
be good.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
And then on the same note, do we have cameras in the board office, similar to like we have in the library and whatnot?
I know that we have a camera that's facing the parking lot. I'm not sure, we have some cameras
Like
at the board office.
Like at the entrance?
I'm not sure if we've got a camera at the entrance. Okay, thank you. I don't have that up where I'm watching. The principals have that in their, on a big TV, and they're watching it. So I think ours is actually in our little storage nook, and I'm not in there looking at that very often. So, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
actually
good.
three. There's one that points to the entrance, there's one that points down to the bottom of the parking lot, and one up the street to the courthouse, because we've had accidents and incidents that happen.
Very good. Very good.
So there's three, there's potential for more, but we plan on running some more this summer, that way we can see all that out.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
Mr. Stewart? Mr. Lott?
The speed on the archery team.
So the archery team has done very well, and I'll probably have them come at a board meeting soon. We have several that have tremendous scores. I think Clayton shot a 294, or don't quote me on that, but something in that neighborhood, just a tremendous score, and he has won first place in, I think, the last two
think the last three.
The last three. So,
He's on a
yeah,
roll.
so they have, and there are other members of the archery team that have been shooting like in the 280s. So, yeah, we've got some archery accomplishments to bring before the board for recognition in the near future.
Yeah.
When is that season about over? Or?
Yeah, I think they've got one more tournament before the state tournament, but to qualify for the state tournament, they have to receive a score, and the score changes each year. It depends on how many kids score what, but they've submitted our kids' scores. They have to score that sometime in January or February. So they've done all those tournaments. They'll have one more, I think, in March, and then the state tournament. And last year with the state, we had a few kids that qualified for nationals.
Right.
So it's entirely possible we'll do that
That
again this
thing's
year.
really taken off. It's fun to watch, it's fun to see, yeah.
Yeah, Megan Cutlip, I know, she has
Yes.
done really well. I mean, there's several of them.
Brooke Cross, I
Melissa's
think,
piece.
also
Brooke
shot
Cross,
a 280
yeah.
something.
Melissa had shot real well for middle school.
Yeah, Isabella Spees has done really, really well. Hunter McCrae, I think, is another one that's done real well for the middle school. I mean, there's a bunch of them. And a lot of those 8th graders move up to the high school next year. That high school team could be really tough. Because a lot of the kids come back. I know we lose Connor
Yep.
and Brooke, but I don't think we lose too awfully many at the high school, so.
Good deal. So you'll have them come to
Yep, sure will.
Okay, great. Anything else, Mr. Lund?
Wrestling team, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they in states now? Or?
Is that Friday?
I think it's
Yeah,
this
this week, yeah.
It's coming weekend.
Yeah.
Now, the boys' first section was tonight at Rome. The girls has won their first one at Rome, and then it got beat at Ravenswood, but they play tomorrow night at Charleston.
Charleston County.
Yeah, for the regional.
I do have one question, since we're talking about this. We do have an esports person that got a scholarship to Wesleyan. Is that right?
Yeah, so we have two. I don't know, but yeah, we have two students that have been signed this year, two seniors, Serenity Lowe and Ephraim Lynch. Ephraim will sign this Friday, so if any of you want to come over at 1 and see his signing, come on over to the Commons there, and we'll have him there. So yeah, we have.
Is that our first two?
That is our first two, both of them this year. Both seniors, both will be at Wesleyan next year.
Get them in too, Mr.
Yep.
McCown.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have Mr. McCown bring them to a board meeting too. Okay, very good. I only have, I'm sorry.
A good deal.
Yeah. I only have one thing, and I've asked Mr. McCowan to get hold of the school attorney and find out, because we will have an open seat that the board, because nobody signed up, so there's going to be an open seat. Okay, that'll have to come out of the central district. Okay, so I've asked Mr. McCowan to ask the attorney if we can, I know we can't put that person on the board until the first meeting in July, because Randa still holds the seat. But I've asked him to ask the attorney if we can go ahead and start the process after the election. We don't want to do that until after the election, okay? But go ahead and start that process to see who's out there, who's interested. So when we come to that meeting in July, that we might at that time have somebody replace. I don't know if that's legal or not.
Right.
Okay, so he'll ask and find out. But if we start that process, we won't start it until the second, if it says it's okay to do, we won't start that until the second meeting in May, because I think we need to let the election go through and see who gets elected. But no matter what, there's going to be an empty seat that the board will have to place. Okay, so just transparency, so if you hear Mr. McCown talking about it, you'll know what.
So I will bring that back under information, whether it's kosher to start that process, or if we have to wait until after July 1 to start the process.
Okay, anything else for the good? Anything, Mr. McCown?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, with that being said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.